All right. I've got 1 p.m. on the dot. Good afternoon, everybody. Let's see here. My name is Cesar Rivas, and I am the sales manager or the sales executive rather for Sound POS. And today we're going to start off with our first workshop of the year. Actually, we've been doing these now. This is, I believe, either the third or the fourth year we've been doing these. Normally they take place starting in March all the way through November. We know that, December, January, February can be a little busy. So normally that's how we do that here. Now, the idea of the workshop, if you've never been through one of these, is that I'll cover the first 15 minutes, any new information, anything I want to share with you guys. And then the last 30 minutes, I will actually, or the last 15 minutes rather, I will actually just do like a quick sales pitch, so to speak. All right. And I'll go along with the presentation. All right. Now, this session is recorded. All of the other previous workshops have also been recorded. They're on our YouTube channel at Sound Payments. I mean, we have a ton of material there, not just these workshops. We got some demos, training, and things like that. I'd really encourage you to take a look at that at our YouTube channel if you have not done so, especially the area where it says shorts. All right. All right. So this first workshop, I kind of want to go into what's going on with Sound POS and some of the enhancements we're going to be making coming up. So we've sent out, I believe we've already sent out this product roadmap, which is pretty good, in terms of accuracy. We of course are going to be listening to feedback, and maybe we don't want to be so stringent that we can't change any of these things. If we see that something is more critical to make available, we definitely will move things around. But for the most part, this is pretty much what we're going to be doing for the first half of the year. So our KDS system is already available. All right. Bulk reset will be available actually in a couple of weeks, where you just have to finish testing, and I'll show you a little bit about that. Bottle deposit, modified controls, product sale. Now, when I created the contents of the actual workshop, we hadn't created the roadmap just yet. So some of these things, even though they may have been released, we may not be covering today. All right. In March, the POS is going to have the help files attached, as well as the seamless commerce. So the actual user guides are going to be available. So no, you don't have to go online or anything like that. They're going to be available right there and there. The POS is actually multi-language. You can actually use English, Spanish, Portuguese, and Chinese. But our web portal was not, and we decided that if we're going to offer multiple languages on Sound POS, we may as well do it on the back end as well. And then we're in the final stages of doing the online ordering. Uber Eats, Grubhub, and DoorDash as well. We're going to be changing some of the reporting in April, approximately. We've never actually had a profitability report, even though there is a field in the product configuration where you can put the cost, and it'll calculate your profit and gross margin as well. So we're creating a profitability report, but we want to go beyond that. We actually want to create a dashboard. Now, if you go to your merchant portal, the landing page there, when they open up the web portal, you'll notice that there are a couple of graphs there, but they're not really that useful. Transaction volume and new users. So we want to expand that into a greater number of charts that can be modified as far as the time frame that you want to look at, and then charts where you can actually click and download the specific data so you can look at the detail. All right. We'll also hopefully be integrating an e-commerce platform for WooMarket, for WooCommerce. And the idea of that platform is that merchants are going to have a single inventory to manage. So they're not going to have an online inventory versus the brick and mortar inventory. And then we are going to be launching Sound POS on a version, a software version or virtual version. It's going to be an app, which is going to be working on any Android device, tablets, computers to smartphones as well. In May, we're going to be offering another version of Sound POS Lite, which will be a much more simple version of it, of course, at a lower entry point price. Actually, the exchange functionality has already been made available. I was actually going to highlight it today. All right, so that is available now. As I said, not everything is is written in stone here. Right now you can do tax exemptions as you check out somebody, but we can't do them at the customer level. So in case you have, business customers and things like that, that automatically should get the exemption, we're going to be adding that to the customer as well. And then we already have a sales function, actually 3 times the types of sales that you can conduct, but we don't have the ability to do mix and match, meaning, all your Lay's products, 2 for 1 would qualify with a Dorito and a Lay's potato chip. We don't have that ability just yet. All right. And then, as I said, based on the feedback that you provide us, we are going to, look at maybe moving some things around. All right. All right. So first thing I want to show you guys is, let me go over to my my terminal here. Oh, it already logged me out. Okay. So one thing that I didn't mention in the roadmap, and this is something that actually we instituted probably towards the end of last year, is the ability to have gift cards that function across multiple locations. These have to be, of course, for the same merchant. They can't be, 2 different merchants, for example, because let me explain to you what the structure looks like. And we're going to log into the into here in a minute, just so you can see that. But the way that would work is you would need to create a parent store and then child stores under that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go to my demo reseller account here. Okay. So you'd have to have, when you look at your stores list, you'd have to have a parent store listed here. I've got one in the second page here. You'd have to have a parent store, any one of these, all right? And then you'd have to have child stores assigned to it. Now, each child store is going to have their own inventory, or if you want, you can have, the parent store with a full inventory. We don't currently have any way to transfer inventory between a parent store and a child store automatically, so you'd have to do it manually. But the way that it works is you would create the gift cards under the parent store, and that would automatically give the child store access to all the gift cards. So if you've got, 2, 3, 4 locations, it doesn't matter which location the customer goes to. Our in-house gift cards will work there if it's set up in this structure. And remember, we don't charge anything for additional stores. We charge you based on the number of terminals that are active. All right. So wanted to mention that first of all. Let me see if there's any questions. Please feel free to ask any questions at any time. All right. Don't see anything available just yet. All right. The other thing I want to show you, and I am going to show you that on the terminal, is how to do an exchange, which we announced it for later on in the year, but it's actually available now. Okay. So let me go ahead and log into my terminal and then do a quick purchase, and then you can do, you'll see how I do a refund and how you can from that refund actually make a purchase or an exchange. All right. Give me 1 second here while this thing opens up. Come on, Air Viewer. Okay, here we go. Bear with me 1 second, guys. Sometimes the packs can be a little slow. I'm on the same network and everything. Technology, guys. Yeah, we're on the same network. All right, let me do it one more time. Let me click out of here. I just want to show you on the screen how we can conduct a refund and then do an exchange right in there. All right. Bear with me 1 second while this thing opens up. I don't know why it's not. Yeah, normally it'll take a few seconds, maybe 30 seconds, but I've never seen it take this long. Now I'm going to have to switch over to a handheld I got right here, A77. Let's give it another few seconds here to see if it actually shows up. No, it's not showing up. All right, guys, I'm going to switch over to the A77 then. Same functionality, really. Give me 1 second here. While I connect on this device. This has never happened to me before. Give me 1 second. I'm still booting up the A77. So you just give me 1 second here. Okay, and there. Android starting. And let me go ahead and connect. What? Oh, sorry. No, I am connected to the internet. Yeah, same network. Let me just open up Pack Store here. Maybe that's the problem. Okay, so it's taking it now. I have no clue what's going on, everybody. I apologize. This is not normal. There, no, it's not opening on this one either. Uh, all right, well, then I'm gonna have to explain the procedure here. There was no request for a long time. This is closing. Um, Normally what you do, and this is really critical, all right? You can't do an exchange for an item that has tips on there or any kind of a fee, like a delivery fee or anything like that, okay? Um, you know, surcharge, all that stuff, that's fine, but as far as, delivery fee or any type of a tip, it doesn't work simply because maybe you've already paid out the tip, or maybe you've already paid out the delivery person. So that's a reason why we can't use it that way. But normally the process is you simply go into, you look for the transaction, you open up the refund section, and then you do the refund. You actually run the refund, okay? And you process the refund. It's gonna give you an option to submit at the bottom, okay? And now you have to do this within the sales screen, all right? As I apologize, I don't know what the heck is going on with this thing. Why it doesn't receive the request? Um, so you do this within the sales screen. You're gonna go look for search for a transaction. You look at the bottom of the ticket, normally has a transaction number, you input it there, and then you click to go ahead and do the refund. See, I didn't decline anything here. Once you actually start doing the refund, it's gonna prompt you to whether, how you wanna process it. If you have multiple items, you can pick one item only if you like. Go ahead and process the refund. Because you are within the sales screen, once you click on submit, it's gonna bring you back to the shopping cart. There you can choose whatever items you want, and if the item is priced at the same price or lower, then obviously you're not gonna have to pay anything, or you're gonna get part of the money back. If the item is priced higher, then the client would only need to pay the difference. Guys, I really apologize. I don't know what the heck's going on, but neither one of these units are connected. They're both on the internet without any problem. I'm connected to Sound POS on both of these. I don't have an external camera to even put it, but all right. So I apologize, guys, but that's the way that you can actually run a refund. You actually an exchange. You run the refund, you submit it. You got to do it within the sales screen, and then it's going to automatically bring you to the sales screen. You'll have a negative balance there. As you add more products, that balance is going to change, and then you just submit to pay. And like I said, if there's a negative balance still, the customer will receive the refund. If there's a positive balance, then the customer will pay the difference. All right. So my apologies for that, guys. The only other thing I want to mention is, the breakdown and packaging. It's something that we've already actually have on the system. So you're able to break down, like 6-packs into singles, for example. So if I go to my micro mart here, and I see that, I've got a couple of questions here now, which I'll respond in a minute. Let me just go to the store. No. All right, so for example, if I go to alcohol, right, where you normally have that need for that function, you'll see that I've got my Budweiser is a single entry here, but when you go into it and you go to breakdown and packaging, you also have 6-packs and cases. And then when you look at it on the actual terminal, you know what? Actually, give me 1 second here, because I've been able to do AirViewer like this before. Let me see if I can do it like this before. Let me see if I can do it this way. Maybe that's the problem. No longer doing it under the terminal, but doing it here. All right, so with the packaging and breakdown, the nice thing is you create a single entry under your product profile, as you saw over here. for Budweiser. There we go. But then you can actually create the packaging 6-pack cases here. And when you look at the screen, which now we've got access to it, when you look at the sales screen, okay, you're actually going to see the 3 items as separate items here. You got the case, you got the 6-pack, and you actually have the regular Budweiser beer here. Okay. Now I can show you the refund real quick. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and jump into the second part of the process here. So let's say I have got 2 items that I want to do. All right, I'm going to do the shirt, and I'm going to do, let's do a book. All right, so again, I pay for this. I'm going to pay cash. Boom. Okay, let me go ahead and print my receipt just so I can get the transaction number here. Okay. All right. And then what you're going to do is you're going to search orders. Okay. Sorry. Actually, we're going to go here. We're going to go to refund. We're going to put the transaction number here, which in this case is 106816. Okay. It shows me which items I purchased, right? And I only want a refund on the shirt. So I'm going to choose refund all. I'll say dislike the item. Okay. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to say refund all. Remove that line. Okay. So we're only going to refund 1, right? So now I've got a negative balance here. So I can go ahead and buy something else. Say I can get some candy. All right. Let me get a Reese's peanut butter cup, for example. Right. And maybe I can get myself a bottle of Perrier. So now when I go to pay, right, I don't have to pay anything. I'm actually going to receive $14.83 back. Okay. And the system will actually print out a receipt with that information on there. Okay. Total return cash, $14.83. All right. So that is how you can conduct a refund on there. All right. All right. So before I move on to the next section, which is the sales section, let me go ahead and respond to some questions that I saw that came up already. Okay. I believe the first question was around send end of day detail reports to multiple emails. Well, there really isn't right now a way to do that on the system automatically. There's an email function there, but it's a very limited email function. What I would recommend is, download your sales report, your total sales report in PDF format, and just email the PDF file for now. All right, but there's not a way to do it automatically on the system. We're gonna make it more robust as far as the email function, email report function that's on there, but it's not available just now. All right. You can set up. I wouldn't say happy hour specials though, because if you look at the sales function here on the system, okay, and let me go there real quick, maintenance, and then special pricing. We've got time-based pricing. Oh, actually you could. I'm sorry. That's where you would do it. I didn't realize that we actually have a time for that as well. So you're going to go to special pricing. You're going to go to time-based. Well, you're going to look for whatever item you want, or time-based pricing. You're going to choose which day you want that, and then you can actually choose the hour. Okay, so you can choose, I don't know, from 5 to what is it? What's happy hour normally? 5 to 7, something like that. So you can actually do that. All right, look for the product and so forth, and then just establish it. And this is going to remain on the system for as long as you leave it there. All right, it doesn't expire or anything. That's going to be a recurring weekly sale. All right, or happy hour. All right, guys. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the second section of the second part of the presentation, which is kind of a quick sales pitch. Talk a little bit about Sound Payments and Sound POS. We're a software development company that specializes in the payments services industry. Sound POS is one of our 3 solutions. We also have a solution for EMB retrofit at the pump. We have a solution which is a quantum cloud that allows you to manage payment terminals remotely and even do semi-integration with a vast number of POSs that are out there in the market. All right. And then, of course, Sound POS, which is our I would say our flagship product right now, since we're really focusing on developing it and taking it to another place. Our POS is a cloud connected POS. I wouldn't say cloud based, because the items are stored both on the terminal and also on the cloud. Right. So if you do have any degradation of your internet connection, the actual POS will not function any slower, maybe you're going to take a longer time to get an approval for a credit card, but the actual transaction will be just the same because everything's stored both locally and on the cloud. And the advantage of doing that as well is that if you have multiple terminals, then you're able to do a transaction on one terminal and then finish it on another. Yes, it's kind of a hybrid type of a setup. All right. Also, if you run a transaction on one terminal, you can do a refund on another one. It doesn't matter. It'll find the transaction number when you do the query. All right. And of course, if a terminal breaks down, then also that's a easy way to replace. We have an inventory template you can use to upload your inventory. You have different ways in which you can track your inventory, not just by the item, but even by attributes or attribute combinations or an attribute matrix, size, flavor, color, things like that, or even by ingredients, modifiers like a sausage and a bun for hot dogs and things like that. It has the ability to restrict functions for employees. So you may have an employee that can't do sales, but they manage inventory and vice versa. And then the employees function also comes with a time card feature. So, your employees can clock in, clock out, start a break, end a break, and then you can export that in Excel format that will be compatible with any payment or payroll processing software. It also has a customer's database. We do have a template for that in case you have a merchant that has an existing database that can be imported. And the customer database also comes with an account credit feature. So the merchant can give the customer's account credit. They can choose how much credit. There's no limitation. All right. And they can choose how it's paid back. Great thing for or great feature for things like layaway plans. Maybe some merchants don't want to to give refunds, but instead they want to give store credit. So great usage for that as well. All right. And then the sales tax is going to be assigned at the individual product level. So you can have as many sales taxes as you need, really. Regarding the cloud synchronization, so every transaction is going to be synchronized, right? So as soon as it's finished, you're going to see it in the web portal. And the web portal that it comes with is not an app. It's actually browser based. So it works on any major browser, and of course works on any device that can support browsers. And then we have a number of reports on the terminal that are going to be specific to the transactions that run on that terminal, and then reports on the web portal that are going to be Excel based, so you can filter, sort, and all that stuff, and also PDF in case you want to email that. We do have some optional features which I talked about a little bit. We do work with all major processors, all right, and again, because it's connected, the deployment cloud connected, the deployment process can be a lot quicker because you can actually ship the equipment and then do everything on the back end as far as configuration. As soon as the merchant receives the terminal, they're going to be able to connect to the internet and download all the information. And then if you have to do any updates like software and things like that, also, they don't really disrupt the functionality of the terminal itself. All right. Just some examples here on the left-hand side. You can see I've already shared with you kind of the screen of the terminal, but you can see the what it looks like on a handheld device and then on a countertop device. And by the way, we are running a special now with if you have a merchant that has a countertop device with handhelds as well, we'll give them a $10 discount on the monthly SaaS fee for every handheld. All right, as long as they've got a countertop. And on the right-hand side, you can see the web portal. This is what it looks like on a computer. This is what it looks like on a smartphone as well. All right. The devices are Android-based. The ones that are portable have very strong battery life. The ones that are not still have a battery just for backup purposes. They all come with cameras. They are Wi-Fi, Ethernet, and also 4G compatible. All right. Some of them do have dual terminal screens, one for the customer, one for the employee, where you can even display some marketing material. All right. And then you can add, your cash drawer, your scanner. We do have ID scanners now. You can add a KDS, the kitchen display system that I mentioned earlier, and printers as well. All right. I'd say very flexible, probably easier to identify where it's not a good fit than where it is a good fit. So for example, in the food industry, I would say, a full service restaurant might be a stretch, simply because we don't have a reservation module or a table layout module, like a dining room layout module. So there's no way to do a reservation for table 5 at 7 p.m. on the system. Okay. And same thing for beauty salons, like the ones that need a reservation module, again, we don't have that available. For bars, you can run a tab on the system, but you can't pre-authorize a credit card or a debit card. All right, so that's the only concern I would have there. Other than that, in the food industry, great, great solution for quick serve, for fast food, great solution with for food trucks, for example, storefront like ice cream places. I mean, we have integrated scales already. And yeah, we are integrating to delivery services. That's already in the works. We're gonna be offering DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub all in the same place. All right. So that should be available in the next couple of weeks as well. I think you saw it there on the roadmap. All right. As far as on the retail side, it's a good fit for, we've got especially a lot of secondhand stores, because the system allows you to, do manual entry, but you can still categorize the manual entry. So for your reporting purposes, clothing, furniture, and so even if you input it manually. Great for, smaller grocery stores like a mini mart, bodega, and things like that. Again, we've got the integrated scale, we've got the scanner, we have a scanner with a base if you need it, so that they don't have to hold it in their hand, things like that. And then we do have other, other retailers like hardware, tires, auto parts, and things like that. All right, so it's really a pretty broad range of verticals that our POS can cover. All right. Now it does come with 24/7 support. All right, which is located right here in the U.S. It's in Florida on the West Coast. We're out of Jacksonville. Our support team is out there by Tampa. We do have a reseller specific portal, which is called Sound Hub, that has a ton of information, videos, user guides, FAQs, and things like that. We are constantly working on, updating our software so so it can stay competitive. And then we do also offer advanced level reseller support, and we have a very experienced implementation team. All right. So with that, you got my email address there on the screen. If you have any questions, please feel free to shoot me an email. Be more than happy to respond. If you want to take a look at any of the older workshops, please go to our YouTube channel, Sound Payments, and just do a query there for workshops, and you'll see we got like 3 years worth of workshops there. All right. So with that, everybody, thank you again for joining me, and have a great rest of the day.